Let's not ruin the surprise. So, this is Veins Like Tapeworms. Should be more a visual novel than an RPG. Still made with RPG full screen. Oh, okay, interesting. The game launches full screen. Like, the surprising part is not the full screen, more like the default resolution is full screen. Okay, I have a bunch of things to say about it because here full screen, here not full screen. So the game launches at a full screen resolution but not full screen, which is annoying to say the least. It's annoying. So I would suggest to run a, I don't know, a command that makes the screen full screen instead of launching at full screen resolution. The window is cut off. Yeah, no, I was planning to fix the screen right now because also the game resolution or my square resolution is wrong. Okay, that's better. Now we just place the game. Okay, now should be perfect. Also, I want to make a note because unfortunately RPG Maker has a problem where it runs on CPU and not GPU. So the more pixels for screen means well, harder time to render everything, but since it's a visual novel, it's pretty smart to have a full screen resolution since images don't heave too much on the system. So that's a pretty smart decision. Okay, people have been disturbed, and let's not read the disclaimers. I wanna get this. Well, I not really want to get disturbed, but we are playing anyways. I may stop whatever I feel like it's not safe though. Thank you for your continued interest in Veins Like Tapeworm. Well, I don't know, I just started. Also, that's a small thing with the text is slightly on the right. I know a lot of people don't use Visual Stella for reasons, but one useful thing is to center your text when you need it. You can turn on content warning within the option. Would you like to enable content warning? No. Let's get disturbed anyways. That's a title screen, right? Veins Like Tapeworms, beauty in rot, rot in beauty. That's kinda disturbing. And maybe the title screen. That's a pretty cool title screen. Very simple, but there's still some dynamism in it, or some animation in it. It's way better than having a still image, actually. Adds some sort of dynamism. And there's also a custom side menu here. That's pretty cool. I don't know how this is made, maybe a plugin. The gallery feels like a plugin, but it's always cool to have a plugin for the illustrations. There's a lot of them also. That's interesting. Steam page, wait, this is the Steam page. Well, I got it from Steam. Options? Interesting. Display frame per second. Display mode, speaking noises. Speaking noises, oh. I'm curious to see how they are actually. Because sometimes they are annoying, but sometimes they help a lot with the game. It depends. There is a demo, only chapters 1, 2 and ending 1. Okay. 2 entire chapters, okay. This demo seems pretty long. Okay, I have one thing to say for myself, since this is the first visual novel we play on Critipedia, even if it's made with RPG Maker. So it will work as an experiment. Unfortunately, I'm not the best on judging the story But I can give some insight on the pacing of the dialogues, which for me is pretty vital in a visual novel. So, let's start. Chapter 1. Corpse soup doesn't start well, I suppose. It doesn't start well at all. Already with some vomiting. Oh, there's an audio. Wait, you didn't hear the audio. There was someone vomiting in the back. I came to watch during dinner, of course. Or to eat with your bowl in the front, of course. Okay, this is a common technique used in visual novels. Indie visual novels, or less than indie, how it's called. To use a real photograph as a background, as we saw also in Katawa Shoujo. Even if in Katawa Shoujo it was better looking. Here, well, here could work. This part of the window personally looks pretty well. For the intro, I think this image could work. We see later though how other images fit with the rest. And we have the default functions: auto skip, history, hide, save. Ah, there's history! That's pretty uncommon on RPG Maker, actually. Ah, I think that's a Visustella plugin, because I remember something similar, or not a Visustella, but there was a similar plugin I saw where the entire dialogue repeats. Was it in the Indie Game Maker contest game? Life is a Sisyphean hellscape. Wait, Sisyphean maybe comes from Sisyphus, right? The one that pushes the boulder up the mountain. Just to be sure. Sisyphean. Yeah. Denoting relating to a task that can never be completed. Yeah, that like Sisyphus, or however it's called. Pronounce it Sisyphan. Okay, thanks. And Damian's grip on the proverbial boulder is starting to slip. That's an interesting phrase to start your game. Wait, I'm getting arrested already. I suppose for having veins like tapeworms. Is that a crime? They weren't really sure when they reached their breaking point. If they had to wager a guess, though, it was right around when they watched the cops cart the body out of room 100 last week. Oh, they found them. Ah, that's a girl. Look at like a boy from the title screen. If it wasn't then, it was today, when the shithead manager Carl waited for the room to be released from investigation. When all the hubbub died down and Damian was 30 minutes away from clocking out, he'd pulled them aside and said they needed to clean the blood out of 103rd's tab. Hubbub, I suppose, means some chaos, some events happening there and there. Hubbub. Yeah, confusion, tumult. Okay, the start is getting, I suppose, straight to the point, and now I think we're gonna see the flashback or on how everything is started, or the opposite. This is the flash forward, I suppose, because I don't think it's a game about being in prison. Well, everything could happen, actually. So Carl is the manager of maybe the police? No. Police doesn't have managers, at least on active duty. probably the manager of the apartment, because there's room 103, which means they're probably in a hotel or a big set of houses. No, room means an hotel. Okay. When the hub died down and Damian was 30 minutes away from clicking out. Damian is a mythological figure, or is it a name of Damian Zephus? I think it's a name of a character. We still don't know Damian. Maybe Damian is the protagonist we see here. Maybe the easiest link, but it depends. Maybe it talks about some other character. I don't have a way to know. Maybe. I suppose. Maybe is it the regenerator? Carla, you see? You mean? Okay. Oh, hi lol, how it's going? Disclaimer for this game, does not go easy, I suppose. And this is an RPG Maker game, surprisingly. It's actually a pretty smart move to make a visual novel out of RPG Maker, because it's easy to use. And if you manage the graphics, which are the important part in the visual novel, and you have a decent writing skills, then you're pretty good to go. Who is this guy? Is it Carl? No. I'm not qualified to clean that, Damian told him. Damian... Okay. I still don't get who Damian is. Damian was 30 minutes away from clocking out. Ah, okay, I forgot about the clocking out. Damian works... Ah, okay, yeah. Damian was supposed to clean the blood of the tub in the room of 103, but he's not qualified for that. Because, you know, cleaning blood, that shouldn't be in a person's duties. Oh, we got the gacha for Lollo. Here it is. And you got General Korsk, straight from Artesio. Congratulations. It's a good idea. A friend of mine was starting a project like this with the text on the side, but it never actually developed the game. Well, the hardest part in making a game is actually making it. Because everyone is good to start up, get an idea, place the basics. But the hardest part is going through on the project for its entirety. I know, I know well. People aren't going to ask, Carl coaxed. Come on, we can't afford a specialist. Coaxed? Maybe it's a way to retort. No, it's a way to convince someone. It's a verb to convince someone. We can't afford a specialist. You can't afford someone to clean blood. It's literally a biohazard. Only if it gets inside. Again, tape. It's not simple blood. Only if it gets inside you. Just be careful. Come on, Damian, please. Do us all a favor. Clean the blood. Fuck you, Damian thinks. Yeah, fine, sure. Okay, I suppose then they are... Okay, I was a little confused at the start because there was the police. Or there were signs of the police and I thought, okay, this is a way to explain what happened before those events. Or to explain those events. That's why I got confused. A problem in visual novels is knowing who talks to who. Here, at least, it's somewhat easy after you understand, yeah, those two guys are the one talking, since there are the pronouns, since he, the guy on the right, is Carl, and the other one is probably her on the left, if I got the pronouns right, though. It depends. So that's a hard part in visual novels, is to make clear who is talking to who, or who is talking anyways, or, well, not really. Here it says fuck you, Damian thinks. So the hardest part is letting the player know by visuals who is who. I suppose now Damian is the girl on the left, but I'm not sure. Fuck you, Damian thinks. I'm now 99% sure, but at the start... sorry to say it again, but at the start there was no dialogue, so that's what confused me, since I couldn't distinguish who is who, because they may talk about people who is not here, for example. They may think, oh, that guy needed to clean that mess, but he's not here anymore now, I don't know. Nemi is going to catch something nasty from touching that blood. Everyone dies at the end. Also, there's a mistake. The narration before the paragraph was in the past, now present all of a sudden. Well, maybe it was giving some backstory or context. Well, see, I don't know if it's a mistake, but personally it confused me, because it starts talking in the past. I thought, okay, this is talking on what led the scene here, and now it's starting to the present without a cut. Even if it was intentional, it got me a little confused. Also, let's continue playing, otherwise we will stop on everything. Or I stop on everything. Yeah, fine, sure. Don't get them wrong, Damian is handling life decently enough. They already had their earth-shattering, world-ending breakdown last month. Happens sooner or later. The results of that are still visible on Damian. They chopped off so much of the long dark hair that Ma had always gushed about, before bleaching and dyeing it as close to white as they could get it. Ah, okay, her hair. Okay, I get it. She's talking about her hair. You can see also in the top here there's some roots of the original color of her hair. The result looked like a toddler got a pair of scissors and a bottle of mustard. Luckily for Damian, it's her time to grow in and look a bit less lopsided. No, it's her time to grow in and look a little less lopsided. Let me check on sided. Okay, not in equilibrium, asymmetric. Okay. Also, I might want to screenshot for context later. Awesome. Hey, don't misgender. I'm confused, okay? Well, way less now, still. Because it's day, okay. Okay, that's what I missed. Still though, to call it a sloppy hack job would be doing it a favor. And hey, there are perks of having short hair. I like the change of the position here, add some change to the scene. For one thing, Damian doesn't have to put it in a bun to keep it from dipping into a bathtub full of blood and bleach. don't want to be in that same room anyways. They're not sure why the Restful Night Motel has such an allure to those with debts to pay and grudges to settle. Sure, being in the outskirts of Kingsfield Beach, seedier parts meant that the guests were going to be a bit more colorful than Damian would expect. I say something? I don't know if it was intended to be an hotel, this one in the background, but the image in the background doesn't seem like an hotel at all. Seedy, shady, criminally active. Ah, okay, thanks. I was thinking like seeds of the plants. Yeah, maybe the language is a little complex for me, but I will try to understand anyways. This though, this is really something else. It's fucked up, is what it is. Damian thinks to themselves while yanking off a black rubber glove. Some average Tom who pissed off the wrong Dick tries to flee to a motel and lay down. I suppose Dick means is a way to refer to, yeah, to something, someone very annoying. Dick finds Tom and kills him to get even. Now poor little Harry has to clean up the mess Tom and Dick left behind. Okay, those are not even real names. Okay, they're just fake names. It's a way to explain the situation by using other names. Okay, I appreciate it since the start starts in the middle of the event, so you need the context of what happens beforehand. And this is another way to narrate what happened. So someone pissed off the wrong guy, tried to lay down in a motel, but they find him and they kill him. Damian wouldn't mind being in Dick's spot. The one who killed Tom. Tizio che Sempronio, yeah, those guys. Dick, Tom, Harry. They'll even take Big Tom. Yeah, but I don't want... Yeah, I don't want to be Harry, though. Oh, Jesus. They clap a hand over their nose. The good hand. The one that hasn't been wrist deep in bodily fluids. And don't back a gag. What do you mean? What did you do with the other... Wait. She said, though, she didn't want to be in a Dick or Tom spot. So that means that she didn't kill him. She has nothing to do with it. So why that needs she put a hand in the blood? The odor permeating through the air is too thick in Damian's nose. It's almost too sweet, but the full stench of rust is definitely there, just as an undertone. Damian grits their teeth and squeezes their eyes shut. A few heavy breaths through their mouth will get them through the next few minutes, hopefully. This one little thing is all they need to do before they're off work today. Yeah, because she needed to clean the mess, since they don't have money for a specialist. Then they can lie down in bed and do their best to forget about it. You can do this, Zhao. Zhao, maybe it's her surname? Their surname, I'm sorry. Don't lose your shit. Clocking out is in sight. Damian sucks in a breath, takes their hand off their mouth and gets to scrubbing the chipped ceramic. Ugh. They're finally at the point where the blood is coming off, instead of smearing around like a dragging a slimy paintbrush on a canvas. Soon enough it will all collect at the bottom of the tub, and they can send it swirling down the drain. Yeah, we are littering the ocean though. You're all done? Okay. I can see on this dialogue that the game highlights or darkens the one who isn't talking, so that helps immensely in a visual novel. Instead of each time writing who talks, now we straight away know who is talking. You're all done? Margaret smiles at Damian. Autosave. They can feel the nest is near behind that crane, even though the niceties Margaret presents herself with. Ah, we have some choices here, okay. Usually in a visual novel, well, depends. Sometimes the choices are important, sometimes not, but I would say here the choice is important nevertheless, because it helps the player engage with a different activity outside of reading, which is not much, but helps a lot actually. Here I see the difference is minimal, but let's try the second one. The more educated one, more polite one, like you would care. Damian tightens their jaw and hisses the response through their teeth. Yeah, finally, they say. There's something though I don't really like about how they show who is talking, on how it's managed, because can we see it again? I suppose we can. History, and you see she goes down and up because it's Damian that's talking, so Damian is highlighted, but the highlight doesn't go on Damian, it goes on the other woman because she's moving. She's the one moving. It should be the opposite. When someone is talking, it should highlight, go up, and then return down, and then no one is highlighted. It's still a somewhat problem since it's a game with a lot of descriptions and inner dialogue, I suppose. Not having anyone highlighted might ruin the composition of the scene, I don't know, but still having someone who is not talking move up and down while the other one is talking is weird. It's confusing. Yeah, finally, they say. Would be nice to tell Carl's daughter they can see right through her whole sickly sweet shtick. But Damian can't risk losing their job. Well, I would personally leave a job where I need to clean blood, honestly, but maybe they need money. Shtick. A comic theme or gimmick? Okay. Some sort of sickly sweet charade, fake facade, okay. We are finding a lot of interesting words here. Okay. Maybe some other time. Like if Damian won the lottery. Or killed someone. Are you okay? Think that would take a toll on anyone. Margaret sighs and looks up at the midnight sky. Thick grey clouds rolling further by the second. It's going to rain or snow soon, and Damian isn't sure which. Fine. Also, not a suggestion. I can see that. Let's see it again. You can see that the dialogue is a little tabbed on the right, which is pretty fine. The problem is the cursor still shows the spaces before. You can see now the text writes a little of blank text, which is not such a huge deal, but it's simple can be solved simply by having there was a command like vertical slash and major sign to skip a bunch of writing text. Just to remove this annoying thing. I think it's made on purpose. Well, I don't... What do you mean? The cursor typing or passing through the empty spaces here? I personally don't like the choice because it's the default one. Since it's the default one, I don't think it's intentional. Yeah, the cursor. The cursor. The tabbing is pretty fine, works pretty well. Damien relaxes their grip on the cleaning cart gaudy yellow handle. Nothing I can deal with anyway. I get over it probably. Alright, yeah. I sure. Margaret breaks eye contact. Damien studies the sky. There are long black streaks in the clouds. Yeah, it's going to snow soon. The stilted silence seems to drag on for hours. Now stilted. Stiff and self-conscious. Okay. No doubt, Margaret can tell she's not fooling Damien. She's the first to stop the torment. Well, I gotta get going. I gotta miss the bus. Yeah, I'm going to, Damien says. Their stomach is rumbling so damn loud. As soon as they can, they're going into the city to stock up on some food. Their payment is going to be coming in a few days, so Damien can afford to get a little extra. Rent is pretty much costing an arm and a leg, so any moment where they aren't dipping into their paltry savings is a moment well enjoyed. And they go. They're going backwards. The two go on their separate ways. Thank God, any longer and Damien would have... Nope, not going down that path. Not gonna tempt myself. I suppose nothing that would end good, would end well. That's Miriam. So Miriam is a worker at the mall, and Damien just came by. Another day, I suppose. Miriam leans over and calls out a greeting as Damien pushes the glass door open. Her voice is familiar to their ears. Hey, welcome to the quick stop shop. I'll be out in a second. Don't get excited, Webster. It's just me. Is Damien's flat response. Do you need some sleep? Because you always seem pretty sleepy. There's a new lilt in her tone that wasn't there beforehand. Oh, lilt. Yeah. A rising and falling in the voice while speaking. Okay. Good to know. Oh, Damien! How's going? It's going, I guess. They advance into the store. The lights hanging above Damien and Miriam's heads wash everything in a cold tinge. Colorful, fatty snacks lines the shelves to Damien's left. The stench of seafood is especially strong today. Damien swallows the bile rising in the back of their throat. Fresh fish smells like the ocean and cucumbers is a lie that I never bought into. Fresh fish, in fact, smells like a swamp on a hot summer day and sheer hatred. Yeah, personally I'm not a fan of the smell of the fish. But the one in the stores. The frozen one smells fine. And today, that hatred is seeping into every corner of the store. To me seems like the hatred goes everywhere Damian goes. Trying to keep their voice steady, Damian asks, "Did the fish guy come in early or something?" Miriam pauses. Her brows undoubtedly furrow the way it always is, when she needs to think. I think so. I just clocked in for the night shift. You'd have to ask Luna tomorrow. She was at the store when we got our deliveries. Oh. A high-pitched meowing. Oh, the meow was so cute. Wow. Can we hear it again? No. I wanted to hear the meow again. Punches through the muffled pop music ringing in Damian's ears. They perk up and look around the store. Okay, so I want to make a little comment about the history, which is very useful to have the history, but it's pretty weird that it restarts from the start. I suppose that's a plugin limitation, but I find it a little annoying having to press the button again to reach where I left to. But again, it's better having the history than not having it without having this problem. Still, having history in an RPG Maker game is pretty cool. It only takes a few seconds for them to find the culprit. A large cat with orange fur speckled in white spots is curled up tight in a cardboard box. Okay, thanks for coming. Have a nice cutscene. A towel lines the interior. He looks comfortable, with his eyes shut and tail twitching upwards. Damian smiles softly and kneels down to pat the top of his head. I guess this guy is happy about it though, they remark. It's only now that Miriam pokes her head out of the aisle she's been so enraptured with. Thick mousy hair is tied up into a tie braid. Her glasses shining under the store lights. Mousy hair? That's what a cat is looking for? Yeah, he's been chatting up a storm since I clocked in. That's a good sign. Means he's warming up to you guys, they say without looking away from the cat. Ah, okay, yeah. Damian is lower because they kneel down to the cat. Don't know if I ever told you this, but I used to have a cat too, just like this one here. Oh, really? She didn't know how to meow, so I kind of just screamed, but I thought it was funny. Named her Tabby, short for Tabisca. Like the hot sauce? Yeah, I don't even like the stuff, it tastes like shit to me. Damian looks over their shoulders and gazes with Miriam. But Tabisca works as a cat name, so Tabby it is. Well, my cat is called Micia, which is a kitten in Italian. Oh, that's so cute! Standing up, they grab a nearby shopping basket and start to throw ramen packets into it. Ah, ramen, never mind, it's not noodles. I had one here. Damian figures it's a good idea to leave out the part where Pa hit Tabby with a car and didn't tell them. Okay, I actually like this plot twist, not because of what happened, but because it helps. It's some sort of humor, black humor, but it's still humor, which helps with this scene a lot. Because up until now, this scene, I feel like it's pointless. This scene doesn't have any reason to exist up until now. Maybe they're setting the scene for something, but for now, it doesn't seem to be important. So, the dark humor here helps a lot at this scene. Mentioning to Miriam how they found her buried in the woods days later would probably put a damper on the mood. Gushing on and on about how funny Damian is, Miriam sets down the plastic milk crate filled with canned drinks. While kneeling, she reaches out to pet the cat. I don't think we'll have all thought of an official name for our little mascot yet. Luna calls him Flip-Flop, but I think he's more of a juice to me. The response is non-committal. Miriam changes the subject instead of letting Damian go. So, by the way, how is work? They already regret striking up a conversation. That's me. Tired eyes stay focused on instant meals. TV dinners and cheap noodles churn the stomach, but it's all Damian can afford. Autosave. I don't think you want to know the answer. I cleaned some blood yesterday. If I stay for one more day, I'm going to get someone. Well, I don't want to be direct since... Actually... Actually, could be a nice conversation starter. In a different situation though, not here. I like the choices though. We have the easy escape one, but I might choose because I don't want to ruin her day. The honest one, which is not that bad honestly. Because she's not eating, so we won't ruin her meal. We go with the first one, sure. I cleaned the guy's blood out of a tub. It's okay. Damian holds back the real pose. Never a dull day here, I guess. Unrelated, but I think I'm gonna pick up a Lucy today. Maybe two. What's a Lucy? Ah, okay, it's a cigarette. Okay, of course, they are also smoking. Maybe two. Her plain face contorts into a sympathetic cringe. That bad, huh? Yeah. Damian only smokes after a particularly stressful shift. Thank God, the back and forth ends soon afterward. Damian's already exhausted from dealing with the people all day. More like all week if they're being honest. The last thing they need is more insanity before they can go home and sleep. The cashier, a middle-aged woman named Emily, takes a few seconds to lecture Damian how the shop really shouldn't be selling them loose cigarettes, so they'd better watch what they tell. Damian bites their tongue to stop themselves from telling Emily to can it and give them the loosey already. Okay, to can it is a way to say throw away what you're saying and stop. The snow started. There's already a light dusting on the sidewalk, and the fat snowflakes drift to the ground. Damian pulls the shoulder of their jacket up further to their neck. They probably get something better soon. The zipper on this thing is already busted, so it just hangs off their lanky frame. Well, the worst is when the zipper gets stuck and you can't push it up or push it down. Hopefully, by next week, they'll be able to buy a new one. Damian put in extra overtime specifically for the jacket founds. Leaning back against the shop brick walls, Damian lights the cigarette and takes a long drag. It tastes awful and doesn't feel great. Damian figures that it's the lesser of two evils when compared to what else they could be doing to themselves. That's not the point. Okay, I might understand the fault, but it's just not right. When you think, yeah, I'm doing this, but I could be doing the other thing, which is worse. That's probably not how it works. But I get it. It's probably a normal human thought. Well, I don't know how normal though. Also, is this the base RPG Maker's know? It fits pretty well here though. Wow. Just wow. They blow the smoke all out into the air. In all honesty, it's peaceful out there. They've never been a big fan of the drab feeling that early January everything helps. But something about this seems different. Okay, what's drab? Okay, grayish. A way to mean something without out of colors. But also of bad taste, at least in Italian. I think it's more of a grey type. Yeah, the grey feeling. Good, but different. For a moment, it almost feels like Damian's troubles are far, far behind them. No worries about paying their rent, everyone leaving them alone, and the gore that they washed down 103rd drain is a distant memory that felt years old. I feel like the cigarette should be more straight, because it seems like it's on the side of the face. It's not facing the front. The shop door swings open and the illusion is broken. Miriam's boots crunch on the snow. I like the small sound effect there and there. Hey, you shouldn't be out for too long. You will freeze out there. Frigid winter air bites the Damian's cheeks. The stench of smoke wafts up further into the falling snow. They lower their hand and exhale. Steam clouds puff up in front of thin lips. Is it smoke though? Or may it be hot air, since it's cold? Maybe both of them. They tower over her. Don't give me that, Damian drawls. To droll. Speak in a slow, lazy way, with prolonged vowel sound. Okay. So, don't give me that. Okay. Interesting. You know my place doesn't allow smoking. She stares down at her feet. I know, but nothing. I can't afford the ass whooping I'd get. Miriam swallows thick. She clicks her fingernails against one another, looking as if she'd really like to hide within her work uniform. It's too big for her. The poorly tailored dress and apron hangs past her hands. Come on. It's cold out. Can't, I told you. I just don't want you to get hypothermia or anything. Don't worry, I will get tapeworms. She finds it in herself to say. Her cheeks are red. Damian really hopes it's because of the cold, but they know better. Hey, if you ever, never mind. Take care of yourself, alright? Ooh, we got a raid from Steel Soldier. How it's going? Thanks a lot for the raid. Oh, I know that I maybe should change the raid gif. Doesn't matter, stays well anyway. How's this Soldier raid? And hi Galleon the Rocks, nice to see you there. Oh, and hello Ragnarok Aesthetic. I'm doing pretty well, thanks. We are playing here at RPG Maker Games, which is more a visual novel, but it's a very smart way use of the engine actually, because it's pretty simple to make a visual novel with RPG Maker. That part is coming up with the rest after all. For now it's a pretty dark visual novel. We got some well, depressed protagonist. Is it me, or I see more and more depressed protagonists in the visual novel games recently? Well, it happens. That's unfortunate. Don't pity me. Yeah, sure. Damien finishes their cigarette, snuffs it, and tosses it into a can once they're sure it's out. Suddenly, they really like to be anywhere else but here. Okay, so the story didn't do much up until now. The story actually didn't do anything. They just cleaned up some blood from a tub as part of their job. So the blood cleaning part was a little, well, wasn't that descriptive, but felt like a decently important part of the story. This is only the third scene we got, or second one, so we're not pretty deep. I don't get where the story is going, though. We are here 1 hour, though I didn't play anything. So I will try to continue and see where the story is going, because up until now I'm not really hooked into the story. But maybe I'm empathizing a little with the protagonist. I don't actually know, but the characters at least, and the protagonist more than everything, have a pretty defined character. So that surely helps. Surely helps the player get involved a little more on the story. Suddenly, they'd really like to be anywhere else but here. See you next week, I guess. Yeah. They turn their back towards Miriam and start walking on. Hey! If you're feeling fine anytime soon, I'm on night shifts, so I've got free time during the day. If you ever want to get a coffee or something... Be seeing you, Webster. They've been beating around the bush regarding whatever feeling Miriam has for them. Damien doesn't think she'd be weird about it, but they've never had good results telling people about their asexuality. Well, that's interesting because we know about it straight from the narration text. Don't keep Emily waiting back there. Right. Oh, I love the sound of the steps on the snow. Okay, we can get from the audio cues that Emily returned to... Oh, wait, no, was it Miriam returned to the shop? Not straight, not gay either. That's what asexual means. Well, yesterday I realized something. It's not like straight and sexuals are in the same plane, because no, wait, no. No, wait, no, it is. Never mind. I confused asexuality with non-binary. Well, actually, no, wait. Wait, no, I got them messed up. Actually, we knew from the narration that they were non-binary, and now we know also that they are where was it, asexual. So the non-binary thing was from the pronouns, which mean they don't identify in male and female, and there should only be 3 at this point: male, female, non-binary, because non-binary is everything else. Please don't tell me anything else. And what the sexuality, I don't know. I hear there's too many of them maybe, but asexuality is one of them, which may make sense for a non-binary, but I don't think it's exclusive. Damian didn't mean to be so harsh on her. In all honesty, talking to Miriam doesn't make them want to pull themselves out of their skin. They don't have the words to describe it. She's a bit of a dullard in their opinion. Dullard. Something a little stupid, dumb, dull. Ah, yeah, because... No, dullard maybe means someone which is a little... from dull, maybe. It's a little flat, I don't know. A little boring, probably. Dullard. Yeah, boring means boring. Cool. I got it. Definitely unobservant as hell, but they wouldn't call her a dick or something. But it would be weird to turn around and clarify now. With unspoken words on their brain, Damian keeps their hand down and walks home. Autosave. Wait. This is their home? It's the scene at the start. Miriam wasn't kidding. It is cold tonight. The tips of Damian's fingers are already numb by the time they make the trek back of the restful night motel. Oh, that's the image. That's pretty nice. Wait, is there vacancy or not? Is it broken or not? The black midnight sky only draws their exhausted eye to the neon pink sign hanging in the parking lot. The O is flickering on and off. Actually, it would have been pretty cool if there was a effective flickering effect here. Which I think it's also pretty easy to make. It's almost pretty, I think. Oh no, it's, what was it, Lopak again? I forgot the name. The nasally voice that feels like razors in Damian's brain breaks their concentration. Hey, Damian? Okay, perfect. Fuck! They look up to see Carl's face, twisted in some parody of an apologetic smile. Yeah, what's wrong, sir? Please don't. You of all people should know how bad the economy is doing those days. And you're not making it easier. The motel is barely making it as it is. And whose fault is that? Oh. So I hope you understand that I might not be able to give you your overtime pay this week. It will be there the next time, I promise. Find a lawyer, leave your job. Yeah, but if you find a good lawyer, maybe you can get a lot of money out of it. You know, they made you clean some blood and they don't pay the overtime from it. I hope you drown in your own piss. How is that even possible? I don't want to know. Sure, I can wait. I like also that in this scene there is a little there's what she thinks followed by her compliant dialogue. There go the jacket founds. Well, I won't hold you up for long. It's cold out and I know you want to rest. You don't seem to have been sleeping well lately. Wow, I wonder why. Thank you, sir. See you tomorrow. See you. Having the thought before the actual text helps a lot. Having I don't know, add something to the scene which is not another dialogue between characters, and maybe can be considered some sort of humor, maybe. But surely helps catching some attention to the player in that moment. They part ways. Damian walking toward the motel with a pounding heart, clenched jaw and shaking fists. the walk to their room is familiar. Go up the crumbling concrete stairs, turn left and head on into room 205. Don't shit where you eat or sleep is a motto Damian has had to tell themselves for years. What do you mean? You shit in the bathroom. Though in their new arrangement with Carl, eat and sleep are pretty much interchangeable. Yeah, but don't eat your bed and don't sleep on the table. Well, sleeping on the table may work if you really need it. Next part of the routine. Slot the key in the sticky lock. Jiggle it around a bit, wish they had enough money to live anywhere else except the motel. In a weird way, Damien does feel a bit grateful toward Carl. Even if they were living in one of the more run-down rooms that he was too cheap to fix, it was still a place to sleep on top of the repayment. All in cash and under the table, of course. All Damien had to do in exchange was a little more work. Ah. Okay, so maybe Damien... Wait, no, but... They talked about overpay, overtime work pay. So maybe they are hired here, but maybe not even legally, I don't know. Like cleaning up after a dead body. Is that so frequent? Wait. There's something weird. The door handle is way lower than it should. It should be at least here, I would say. That's very weird. Step 3. Damien slams their shoulder against the door and cringes at a sting of pain. Yeah, that's cringe. The lock seems to get worse in the colder weather. Slam. Wait, was that an RPG Maker animation? That fits so well, actually. Damien wipes the snow off the doorstep and throws themselves at the wood again. It pops open way too easily, sending Damien tumbling on the threadbare carpet. Yeah, as they said, that's cringe. The ramen bags scatter across the floor. No, my ramen! Not the ramen! Running slowly, Damien sits up and rubs their shoulder. At least it didn't dislocate, but the bones sure hurt as hell. They'd like to lie here for a few hours. I'm blinking and I'm moving, but at the end, Damien slams their door shut and crouches down to pick up their food. The motel room's air conditioner rattles in Damien's ears, drawing the mild dewy odors away for another night. Midday, meaning thanks. Mildew, a thin whitish mold. Yeah, okay, thanks. Okay, thanks. Makes sense. I suppose it was a bad smell, but I didn't really know which one. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Nothing broke. Everything is fine. Damien swings the bag of food onto the nightstand. Maybe it would be nice to have a bath and relax before they eat. Hoping you don't have any trauma with the bathtub after you cleaned that thing. Their fingers still feel so unclean, even though the gloves and the cleaning chemicals. The bathroom light buzzes at an uncomfortable volume. Damien pulls the shower curtains back and stares down at the tub. Instead of relief, stress floods their veins. Like tapeworm! Even if their tub is bleached clean enough to eat from. Their mind's eye brings back memories of crimson sludge and skittering cockroaches slurping at the... Ah! Yeah, I didn't I could have lived without this image. Nope, maybe tomorrow. They shut the curtain. Ooh, and ciao you! Welcome to the stream. We are playing a interesting RPG Maker game here. It's more than a black screen and text, I swear. Because there's images. Damian tunes on the sink to scrub their hands until their fingertips are raw. This is raw! Sorry, I got the inner Gordon. Take control for a minute. They look up and stare at their trash bag, covering their mirror. It was for their own good, really. Looking at their own reflection only makes them miserable. No! That's pretty sad. You need your reflection to be less miserable. You know, you need to fix your hair at least. Or see that you need to at least, I don't know, wash your face. Seeing the mirror helps being less miserable. Because there are things you can fix. Hair. You can wash your head. And that's it usually. Damian's really thanking their lucky stars. They didn't grow up to be a neat freak. Otherwise, they'd be going even more insane than they already are. Wriggling maggots, steaming vomit and crawling beetles in the moldy walls is one thing. But Damian will get over it, like they always do. They have to. If they break down again, who knows what they will do? Quit? Get fired? Who knows? Shit! Damian grunts through the pain. Looking down, they see the back of their left hand drip with blood. The right one grips the scrubboard tight enough to dent the palm. Sighing deep, Damian puts down the brush and runs their hand under the hot water. Stinging sensation fills their fingers. Rivulets of pink flow into the drain. The remnants of watered down blood leaving its mark on the basin. Wait, the basin. Is it maybe something there's the bidet in the bathroom, right? But no, not Biasin. Fabrizio Biasin, no, wrong one. Ah no, it's another way to call the bathtub. Okay. Maybe it means on the borders of the bathtub, I suppose. They've been sighing a lot those days. Damian can't really help it. That's right. The next few minutes are a bit of a blur. Damian didn't have any bandages, so the best they could do was clean out the abrasion and hope it would scrub up in the meanwhile. After that, dinner consisted of a plastic cup of noodles made in the motel microwave. Mmm, tasty. All the nights of ramen as their meals are probably going to come and bite Damian in the ass one of those days, but they are too tired to care. Besides, they can mask the plasticky flavors with stronger seasoning. This surely isn't healthy. Okay, I admit, sometimes it's some noodles that are because they are ready in 3 minutes, which is pretty convenient. But of course, not every day, not even more than once a week. Well, it's not like I have a lot of them. I stashed 2 of them in a part of my library in case of emergency. I have a quick meal. But it's different than eating every day like that. Damn, Damian whistles to themselves while staring out the window. The snow is growing more and more intense by the minute. As much as they hate this place, Damian is glad that they aren't on the streets anymore. Nights like those would be nothing short of misery. But hey, they have a roof over their head and a stable job. Well, stable. Okay, maybe stable, but not one of the best jobs. A leaky roof and a soul-sucking job, but still a roof and a job. So maybe it isn't that bad here. And now something happens. I called it! Any and all good feelings Damien might have been collecting are evaporate. I love how it says might have been collecting. Why there's rocky music? Why do I hear boss music? I will wait a little, okay. All evaporates the moment the music starts. It's loud, thumping and startles the ever-loving shit out of them. Damien jolts. The ramen slips out of their hands. Fuck! Orange broth spills across the table, onto the floor and splashes on their scratched hands. Leaping up to their feet and knocking over a plastic chair, Damien does their best to clean up the mess, grumbling to themselves the whole way. Their hand hurts so bad. Mixtures of the heat and the seasoning only irritates their raw skin. Their gaze turns upward, toward the wall they share with the music blasting neighbor. At least Damien has the decency to wear headphones when they want to play music so loud it makes their bones rattle. Shut up, for the love of fucking God, shut up the music off! The urge to go and give a piece of their mind grows deeper. Sure! Fuck it. Damien can't do this shit anymore. Well, I would have personally depends on the time, okay? If I wanted to rest, sure. Otherwise, no, it's still too loud. No, it's impossible to do anything else with this volume, sure. Damien doesn't even trash the noodle cup. If they listen to this bullshit any longer, they're going to go insane. Slinging their jacket back over their shoulders, Damien clutches their motel key and stomps outside. Turning their heel, they head to the door directly to the left of their motel room. The thin plastic is practically shaking. The rusting decal announcing which room it is could fall off at any second. Hey! Hey! Damien screams. Their holders are drawn out in a whisper. Holler probably means screaming. Yeah, screaming. Is the rock music looping? Biting the inside of their mouth, Damien bangs on the door again. Tone down the music! Some of us are trying to sleep! Pressing their ear against the side of the door only gives Damien a headache. All they can hear are the teeth-chattering buzz and screaming lyrics. No sign of life. They'd write a nasty letter to lower the volume and slide it under the door if they had a pen and paper. Pitching the bridge of their notes, they pull away and try to peer through the curtains. No movement. It's pointless, isn't it? Not like whoever is in could hear or care. Damien's got to learn how to pick better battles anyway. New priority. Food. Mission. Survive. Cheese curds would make a decent replacement for dinner right about now. The vending machine near the lobby still sorts of worked. A fact that saved Damien's ass quite a few times before. We still have the music in the background. Fat snowflakes keeps on falling. It dusts the concrete, the vending machine, even the short curls of Damien's hair. They pull up their jacket hood around their neck and kick the side of the machine again. Come on already! This animation though was a little out of place, I feel like. Maybe it would have worked a simple black screen with a shake or a shake. I don't know. Also because the animation before it was fine because it was during some sort of image transition. Here though is a replacement for her animation or her drawing to move the how it's called the vending machine, yeah. Come on already. God, they can still hear the music. It's faint, but undoubtedly here. They spent some of their dwindling cash on those cheese curds. And by God, they are going to get those cheese curds. It's all they're going to have to eat tonight anyway. Damien portioned out their ramen to last until their next paycheck. Taking any extra would lead to them needing to skip a meal at some point. Come on, give it! Damien kicks the machine for the third time. The bag is stuck in the inner spiral. It wobbles, crinkles and flops forward. Crinkle? What's crinkling? To crinkle. Meaning form into small surface or surface creases or wrinkles. Ah, okay, it's a way to mean it bends. It's a way to mean that it bends. Okay, good. Also, they angry. They angry. But it won't fall. Come on! Why are they getting so frantic? Are they about to have another breakdown? Damien hopes not. They can't afford it. I can't afford... Wait, I actually like this. Ooh. I now realize you can take screenshots. I would say it's not a basic feature you need an RPG Maker game, but I would really suggest to add a way to add the Steam overlay on the game and the possibility to take screenshots. I did it myself. It's not impossible, but it's neither easy. I would suggest finding a guide because having screenshots and the user interface adds, well, not required actually, but it's something that player might enjoy. Also because the Steam interface also has the achievements that pop up. They can't afford another breakdown. They can't afford to quit their stupid job of cleaning up shit and blood and piss and sweat drenched mattresses. If they do, they lose their roach-filled room and their revolting door of awful neighbors. Doesn't sound that bad, actually. And if they do that, there's no way in hell they'll ever be able to achieve that dream of working until they die instead of doing something meaningful with their life, like they really wanted, and Damien can't have Damien needs to be a cog in the machine because there is no spot for spiteful and hateful assholes to want to make music of their own and actually do something with their life instead of cleaning the feet of those pieces of shit over and over without any respite until they kick the miserable bucket and... I can't fucking do this anymore. Damien kicks the machine with a hard whip. There isn't even a dent in the side. The cheese curse finally drops into the slot. It's an insult at this point. Damien kneels in front of the machine and shoves their face into their hands. They have the sobbing that bursts from their throat. They already went through this last month. There's no reason to be blabbering all over again. It's humiliating. It's not about the cheese curse, but it sure was the last straw. The tears burned down their cheeks. Feels like acid. I'm weak to my own tears. Oh no! Ah, it burns! Damien Zhao, 22 years old, is on the fast track to waste their entire life away. You're still 22! Come on! You're overage by only 4 or 5 years. Come on! And instead of trying to fix it, they're bowling over their own fate like some helpless baby. I heard another person throwing up. Damien is pretty sure they would have been crying at the snow for a good 15 minutes if the sound of puking didn't snap them out of it. They scrambled to their feet quickly, scrubbing their face of any tear stains and sniffling the snot back in. The gargling is faint on the ears, but there's no way to ignore it. From which perspective are we watching? Maybe that's a trash can, right? That's a bin. They don't approach out of the goodness in their heart. If someone's spewing their guts in the building vicinity, Damian is the one who has to clean it. It's just easier to scrub off fresh vomit instead of leaving it overnight. Rounding a corner, they come face to face with a woman doubled over and barfing into the building dumpster. Hey, they say, voice steady but unsure. Hey, you good? She's puking a lot. Damian tries to get her attention again. Dude, hey, dude! The barfing ceases, hopefully permanently, they think, and the woman snaps her head up. Wide eyes behind crooked glasses peer right at them. Thick hair sticks to her face. Even in the dead of winter, she's sweating. It's so bad that the shimmer of the neon sign hanging above the hotel is reflected on her temple. The look in her eyes is indescribable. It's not the kind of look that any woman would reasonably give to someone. No, they're not that scary. Instinct kicks in. This woman looks like she's barely pushing past 5 feet. Okay, that means she's pretty short. Her legs dangle a good length off the ground. They can't get a decent gauge of her build underneath the oversized sweater, but Damian thinks they could take her on in a self-defense if needed. They were definitely underweight themselves, but they're more than 6 feet. They could just give her a jab in the neck and run, right? You don't need to fight yet. Well, but I think it's with their paranoia, maybe a reasonable thing to think. She's silent. Very silent. Damian can't even hear her breathing. She's going through the motions. Her shoulders and chest rise and fall like expected, but the sound of her gasping fall just short of Damian's ears. Okay. I need to say something. I expect from this scene some sort of change in the story. Some sort of how it's called a turn in the story that gives the entire story an objective, a meaning. Because up until now, the story was just seeing Damian being miserable on everything. Which could be a way to start a story, but the player needs a reason to continue the story. Needs usually curiosity on how the story continues. I would say though there is some curiosity on me about the character to see how they manage to get out of this situation, but I'm still hoping for something stronger. Something stronger that makes the player motivated to continue the story, to get to know the plot or something else. They take a step back. Why did their hands become so clammy? A thrashing heartbeat brings pain to Damian's chest. Her gaze feels wrong. That's the only way Damian can describe it. Wrong. As if she's looking past them, past their skin and into their bones. Please don't look for me. Damian snaps out of their unsettled stupor. Huh? I don't want it anymore, please. Her voice is hoarse and low. Don't bring it back. I just want to rest. Damian would be lying if they implied they understood what the fuck she was on about. Are you drunk? She doesn't respond. Before Damian can stop her, she drops to the ground and takes off running. Stumbling, more like it. Yeah, definitely drunk. She didn't lunge at Damian or make any threats, but their unease doesn't lighten. Something's wrong. Damien looks towards the dumpster. I wouldn't if it was me, but okay. Murmuring drifts up from the cold metal. The more Damien strains their ears, the clearer it becomes in their minds, as if a voice was cooing directly in the folds of their brain. Cooing. Maybe calling? Cooing. To coo. Make a soft murmuring sound from a pigeon. Person speaking in a soft, gentle voice. Okay. A little sound, soft sound. In a warm embrace made to lure. This feels like a turn of the story. Maybe she puked out the tapeworms. I don't know. Okay. That's the only thing I can think of. Whatever is in there, it's not just a result of a drunkard emptying her stomach. Oh, that's a main image. I can sense your pain, your anguish. I feel the whispers of a broken heart clinging to life, your strength sapped away by those who have wronged you. But I can repair you. I can give you the strength of a god. Together, we can lash out against those who have hurt you in kind. Ooh, I like this scene. This, because there's the text, there's the image in background, there's the floating red text behind, and there's also the still red text behind. And all you have to do is let me in. Of course, I need to look inwards because the story will continue, but you know, I'm curious to see what happens. I suppose there's an ending, the only ending of the demo. Makes sense to be only an ending in the first two chapters, because it's like the refuse to start the story ending. How to say? Let's try. Yeah, no. Damian's is not stupid. They're not dealing with whatever the hell she went through. Cryptic warnings are bad enough. Damian isn't taking the chance of learning what letting it in means. Carl can take a gander tomorrow if he's so keen. What's a gander? Gander. A male goose? Huh? No, a look. Okay. Take a look. Why is there a term for a male goose though? Take a glance. Okay. To check it tomorrow. Screenshot this. Oh, okay. Fuck this. They shove their hands deep in their pockets and plod off to get their cheese curls. Hell no, I'm not paid enough to deal with this shit. The night drags on in a dull way. Truth be told, by the middle of tomorrow, Damian has completely forgotten their little encounter. Yeah, sounds like an ending. The next time Damian thinks of it, a month has passed. They're stewing over the concept of Valentine's Day again when the TV plopped on their dresser starts to speak of a new serial killer in their city. Okay, I suppose the tapeworm or whatever was calling them took another person and they went to kill everyone. Which probably would have been our destiny if we looked inside. They look up from their noodles and raise the volume. The reporter is a somber man about Damian's age. The fleeting wish of sitting in his spot glimmers in their head. Cops are befuddled at the sight of corpses. To be fair, Damian doesn't blame them. The state of bodies was gruesome. Far worse than local news report would be allowed to show off. Feels like cow said all over again. Damian had to find the details online. Stomachs flayed open, organs devoured, arteries pulled up. Gruesome, yes, but Damian can't deny it looks beautiful in a fucked up kind of way. It reminds them of flowers blooming. They're mental, with flesh and veins acting as petals and vines. There's no rhyme or reason to the killings. It's like someone grew bored and started to race down whoever crossed path first. The question that's on the reporter's mind is clear. Who could do something like this and why? Damien has the strangest feeling they know what happened. The question on their own mind lingers for an uncomfortable while. What if that was me? Nice way to say, yeah, could be me in the other ending or in the other path. Whoever this killer is, they sure seem to be living free and happy. Wouldn't that be something? They say while shoveling more shitty noodles down their throat. No jumpscare, please. Okay, ending 1, parallels. That was an ending indeed. Don't forget me. Am I saving or... Okay, please tell me if I'm saving or loading here. The please don't forget me doesn't help. I suppose I'm saving, since I don't forget anything. Okay. Partial transcript of an interview between Sophia Choi and Private Investigation has been discovered. No, because I would prefer to see how the story continues, instead of reading extra. And now, I'm at the title screen, okay. And I need to load. Why did I need to save though? Okay, the save is maybe for the transcript, since the demo is not implemented fully, maybe? Doesn't matter, we'll see for like 20 more minutes how the story goes. Can we skip? Okay, yeah. Actually, we can. And now, we answer the call. Okay, sure, why not? Sounds beautiful. Just one little peek couldn't hurt, right? Damien stands on their tiptoes and leans in. They only take one look and back away if it's dangerous. A look doesn't hurt. A look can't ruin their life. A word could, but not a look. Lying on top of the trash is a thick coating of dark slime. It has a strange tint to it. The best comparison Damien had was like the color of the needles of evergreen trees. There is none of the luster that the leaves flaunted. If anything, these things seem to defy the laws of physics. And all light that would illuminate its mass simply seemed to vanish before it could hit the shivering woods. Holy shit. Damien exhales. It's breathing. Tendrils of its slime inch forward before pulling back. It brings Damien back to the days where they were little and watching the waves on the beach. It's like a little piece of the ocean, corrupted and plopped down into slums of this wretched city. Echoed promises fill their vapid little heads. Its voice is heavenly, mesmerizing even. It pulsates, resonating with their very core, as if it wants to be a part of them. No, not that it wants to be. It is a part of them. It's a part of Damien that's been separated from them since the day they were born. Then that's not being separated. Metaphorically only, maybe. All that's happening now is an inevitable reunion. Yes, that's right. That's why they've always felt so empty and incomplete. Because they were never whole. But they will be now. Lured closer and closer towards it, Damien can't even help themselves. Reaching out, bony fingers brush against the creature to feel the purging of its heartbeat against Damien's fingertips. Dead. Well, not really. Not really. It clamps on tight. Oh shit! I'm back. What happened? We are on the turn of the story. Some random woman threw up in a dumpster, and then we heard a voice calling us. There was some sort of slimy ooze matter that lured us in. We had a choice to ignore it, and we got the ending. Now we try to answer the call, and we got very lured into touching it. And I suppose, from the other ending, that this thing will make us some sort of serial killer. I still don't know where the game will lead to. And now we just touched the woods. Oh shit! Bad choice, though. The trance is shattered. Oh, here it is. What the fuck were they thinking? This thing isn't a part of them. It didn't whisper about the powers of a god and whatever it is. It was so awful it made that girl sick. That couldn't have been their own idea. Damien is smarter than that. It's already too late to rectify their error. They yanked their hand out of the dumpster, the force of which they pulled back sends Damien tumbling to the ground. The fluffy snow does nothing to break the fall. The creatures latched on their hand now, sent from its metal prison and into the world. The world! Damien tries to fling it off, and then pry it away from their hands. Nothing helps. It only gets worse. Sprung into motion, the monster claws up their skin. It doesn't stop, doesn't slow down, doesn't even hesitate. Get off away from me! There is a voice in Damien's head that is not their own. Bloom. Need to bloom. Bloom and set free. It won't stop. Nothing Damien can do makes it stop. It's upon their throat, in the blink of an eye. Unpleasant sensation sinks through the panic that dulls Damien's pain. Prickling skin is what alerts them to the tightness around the thin neck. The windpipe squeezes shut. It's as if Damien is a mere observer in their own body. Damien tries to gasp for air. The mouth is forced open by the creature. Throat and nostrils are filled with squirming maggots. I don't really want to look for... but sure. Yeah, worms. Melted and swirled together into a barely conscious mucus. Invading, swarming, sprouting. Eyes wide, screaming silenced. Roots under the skin, wrapping around bones. Muscle fusing with tendrils. Heartbeats thumping. Vision fading. Tooths slurring and dimming. Become one with me. Chapter 2. God in the Gutter. Wait, the Gutter. The demo has those two chapters. Gutter is the thing on top of the houses. Grondaia. Okay. And this kid is how I first met your mother. That didn't seem consensual in any sort of form, okay? Ever since they were little, Damien has always dreamt in red. Red is a beautiful, meaning-filled color. It's loud, angry even, but it is unapologetic and passionate. It's the color of blood and hate, but also the color of love and desire. Actually, that's interesting, because red is both color of blood and love. Well, because... But it's can be briefly intended as a intense color. Blood is intense, love is intense, makes sense. When they were growing up, there wasn't much love to go around. They dream of their family, always screaming at one another or at a small child who couldn't fight back. That's an unfair fight. In those dreams, they are never called Damien. A name that hasn't been used in years is what rolls off the tongue. Yeah, because I suppose after the transition they changed the name. His anger drips right from his teeth, like venom from a snake fang. Ooh, snake liar, as he yells in that booming voice of his. Ma's knife is splashed with red one day. What happened at home? When the screeching reaches a crescendo and Pa puts his hand on her throat. And of course, okay, they had it was a father problem. And of course their tongues would be stained with hatred when their ire turns towards the sole child in the family. As a child, Damien couldn't explain why they hated being in their own skin. When they dream of their face, they see a reflection of a kid who wanted to go to the beach so badly but couldn't stand the idea of their swimsuit. A child who wanted to bite all their skin off, in hopes they were just in a cocoon that housed their real self. But it isn't a shell, and there is no gorgeous butterfly waiting to emerge. Desires, in a language they don't understand, buzz and itch under their awful face. When bitter sobs bruise their ribs, the tears are red. And now, they dream of blood filling their lungs and spilling through their lips. That's not something you really want to dream of, right? Wait, no, it's not blood. And their body isn't trying to expel it. Oh no, we got the crooked man again. It's an infection. And in the dream, their body welcomes it. Their mind screams to purge it, but a sack of meat and bones doesn't listen. Every fiber of them is warped and distorted, overwhelmed by the parasite as it settles deep in their chest. They try to cry out, but their voice is no longer their own. From the look in their eye to the twitch of their fingers, these monsters bleeds every drop of Damien's soul out and settles comfortably inside their shell. They dream of their flesh becoming nothing more than a fertilizer for invasive weeds with scarlet flowers, unfurling toxic petals around their skin. Unfurling, I suppose, means releasing. Unfurl. Make or become spread out from a rolled or folded state. Ah, okay. There's different ways to say something based on the context. Well, in a language, actually. An eyeball that used to belong to them bursts, and Damien awakens with a start. Yeah, I suppose that wasn't just a dream. Now we see what changed. So the entire first chapter was to set up the story. It was actually pretty short. It lasted longer to me because I was dreaming. But it was, I think the twist in the story was at the right moment. The story started with a baseline, something happening, and it didn't last too long while risking to become boring. Because at the start there wasn't anything going on, except, okay, the blood to clean, but other than that there were just dialogue with other characters, but the reason for the story comes pretty early, so that's a pretty positive thing. It's incredibly late at night or early in the morning, depending on the perspective. As a wise man once said, depends on the point of view. Damien sits up slowly. It feels like there's razor blades in their skull, sliding around and slicing up bits and pieces of their brain. Struggling to lift an arm, Damien drags a hand down their face. Sleep doesn't come easy to Damien those days. Well, it never has been easy, but they've graduated to a full-on insomniac in the past year or so. They're lucky if they get a few hours of sleep every day. Of course, Damien knows full well that this is partially their own fault. If they actually worked a normal schedule instead of taking every slot available to get out of this shithole and stop scrolling through their phone for hours a night, who knows? Maybe the bags under their eyes wouldn't be so dark. No, they're fine. Bloody eyes glare at the alarm clock on the nightstand. The display reads 4:33 AM in bright red. Oh, that's just great. Like, it's not already hard enough to sleep. A rat skitters across the carpet. Ugly bastard too, with a scar across his left eye. Damien makes no motion to get rid of him. They sure don't feel like they slept for 3 hours straight. Damien flops down on the pillow and stares directly upwards. The entire stay here, Damien has never been able to figure out how the hell someone got coffee stains on the popcorn ceiling. You'd be surprised. How did they go to bed anyway? Last Damien remembers, they've been grabbing some cheese curds in the vending machine when... Yeah, the thing that called you. Oh fuck! Damien throws the sheets off their legs and sprints to the bathroom. Something is wrong. Something is inside them. And they need to get it out somehow. How? They don't know. God, frantic thoughts pour through their mind again and again. Why did they do this to themselves? God damn us, just couldn't resist the noises that some alien vomit slime creature made, huh? And now at the mirror something happens. What's the milk of magnesia? Eyes burning in the sudden light, Damien looks over themselves countless times. There's nothing wrong with their limbs physically. No twisted, gnarled claws to replace their nails. No thorns bursting from their skin. The only difference Damien can see is their left hand. The abrasion has completely healed over. There isn't even a scar where the cut should be. Ah, okay, so they got some sort of power where they are like invulnerable maybe, or very resilient. Resilienza. Not a single monstrous distortion of their body. A twinge of regret prods their chest at this. A twinge. A sparkle maybe? A moment. Twinge. A sudden, sharp pain, usually. Wait, didn't I already hear this term from Katawa Shoujo? A moment. Sorry, a moment, I'm just curious. No, okay, this is new, never mind. I heard something similar, maybe. Ah, okay. They got assimilated by the venom symbiote. Yeah, from the description though, I thought that they would just lose control of the body, but maybe though they are getting brainwashed by the alien thing, because the alien thing talked like was gonna take control of the body. Damien figures it's a good idea to push aside the implication of that for now. There's just one last thing. Peeling the tape from the edges of the trash bag, Damien steals their nerves. There's going to be nothing wrong with them. Their face will be unchanged. Fortunately or unfortunately. Just one little peek is all they need to reassure themselves. They're a grown-ass guy. They can look at the reflection without getting dysphoric. Shaking hands uncover the mirror. Yeah, you see, you're fine. Completely fun. What are you censoring? Well, that's unusual. Yeah, they're fine. Their face looks the same as it always has. They don't like it, but it's there. With any luck, they think while letting go of the tarp. Tarp. A piece of material. Okay, yeah, the plastic bag that covered the mirror before. Okay. So, while letting go of the tarp, last night was just a feverish byproduct of an exhausted mind. It was all a dream. For better or worse, Damien is completely unchanged. Well, they didn't like the face, so... But you have changed in ways you cannot see. Who is talking? That's Damien's own voice. Well, I can actually see some differences. They wheel around to face the mirror again. The trash bag is no longer a protective shield against an uncomfortable image. Instead, a curtain to yank away and reveal something much stranger. The reflection lolls its head to the right. Wait, is it new lol to lol? I don't remember ever hearing the verb to lol. To lol. To sit, lie or stand in a lazy relaxed way. Or a part of the body which is loose, which is droop. Okay. I feel like I heard it somewhere. Lol. No, neither this one. Some terms are familiar though. It's like, almost like I heard them before. A dull smile curves its lips. There you are, it says in Damien's own voice. I ain't getting too much right now while you sleep, you know. Damien blinks. They blink again. One more time. Rub their eyes. And one final blink, just to be sure. Their response is simple. What the fuck? I don't think this choice matters, but... Let's go straight to the point. Who are you? Who are you? Damien thinks they already know the answer. Its smile widens real slow at their question. Damien doesn't mimic. I am the one who called you in the snowstorm, it says, resting its chin on the hand. We are bound together, in body and mind. They should be afraid, maybe disgusted, unnerved even. I am a shadow, the true self. To Damien's surprise, there is a twisted sense of glee within the center of their chest. What's wrong with me? There is nothing wrong, it says, both in their mind and in their ears. You understand on a deeper meaning that there is nothing to fear. They stop in their tracks. Can you hear what I think? Of course I can. Do you think I was kidding when I said we were bound together? Is this part of the game jam of Bound Together from the Game Maker Toolkit contest? Nah. The fear that should cool in the pit of their stomach never even wriggles. Instead, the intrigue tightens its hold. A thousand things, Damien could say, warm through their head. Interesting choice of the verb here. Eventually, they settled on one. What happened to you? Well, what happened to you? Damien doesn't realize their shoulders are sagging in relief until they rock the cover to the side. You've been talking a big game about how you're undone and how the other hosts couldn't fix you, but you never told me how it happened. I have been without another for longer than you can comprehend, it speaks with an eerie calm. Over time, bits and pieces of me have evaporated or been cut off from my core, It's a miracle I found a human who could become one with me. Wait, compatibility issues or something? You could say that, yes. Something in the air around Damien feels suffocating. Being scrutinized by the gaze of the other, even if it takes the form of the mirror reflection, only deepens the bubbling soup of thoughts in their mind. I like the visuals of the soup of thoughts. A moment that it will boil over and spill on their mental burner. That's an interesting metaphor. Sure, it was allowed to have its own privacy, but considering how Damian's sharing body with this thing, it would probably be a good idea to get some more answers. Why not? Damian asks. Their tongue stumbles over their words, their attempt to gather their thoughts imperfect at best. She seemed fine when I saw her. I mean, not fine. Okay, the woman that, the previous host. Like, she kind of looked like shit, but why weren't you compatible? That's what I'm saying. Why hope from her to me? It does not match Damian's energy. It's not a problem of physical differences, if that's what you're asking. She was a perfectly cromulent vessel, same as you. She just wasn't ready. I offered her the gift of a god, and it scared her. And I get that Damian won't be as much scared. Okay, what's cromulent? Cromulent. Acceptable. Satisfactory. Okay. Good to know. There it is again. The gift of the god. Fuck, what am I even trying to say? You want to know if I'm powerful beyond your wildest dreams? Yeah, exactly. The answer is yes. I have the powers to set you free from all the strings around your arms. Glittering light seems to shimmer in its eyes. Rather, it shines in the reflection of Damian's eyes, but the light radiates from the other. All Damian wants, more than anything else, is to doubt it. Call its claims a bunch of bullshit, but there's something so real and visceral in these honey-dipped words. They can't help but put in a little more trust than they reasonably should. Well, you know, something is possessing you. Either you play along, or you fight it. And I suppose you play along. You don't have much to lose anyways. They want to be free a bit more than they're willing to admit, Damian guesses. But I must rebuild first. It snaps Damian out of their spiraling thoughts. And I cannot do that without a human host that is compatible. Damian tilts their head and asks the burning question. What if I died? I don't think I care what happens if I die, honestly. So I'm in control here. Damian scrapes up some modicum of confidence. Modicum, I suppose it's an amount. A small amount. That's what are you saying? What gives you that idea? For once, it seems the reflection is caught off its guard. It's a blink and you miss it moment. In the next breath, it paints its carefree ruse back on its face. Admittedly, they almost blinked. Then, thank God I didn't though. It's about time Damian gets to peruse each little twitch the other makes anyways. Now, peruse. It's not appear, right? Peruse. Read something typically in a true or careful way. Examine, okay. Means like perceiving some of its movements, I suppose. Screenshot this. Of course, if it suits you, suits your heart, we can both agree to that notion. I just want to know your thought process, it says. Damien looks up at the cobwebbed ceiling, perking the corner of their lip upward. Think about it. Like you said, you really need me. Me? I can live without you. If I stuck my finger down my throat and puked you out right this Ah no, okay, that's Damian talking. If I stuck my finger down my throat and puked you up right this moment, I could shake off this night as a fever dream and go on living like I always have been. They laughed dryly and gone. But you, well, you'd be shit out of luck. You could strike gold again and find someone else like me the first time. Or maybe just fine. Or your next 50-something tries could be like Dumpster Girl over there. It's not smiling anymore. Yes, you're right. When it put it that way, you are the one who calls the shot, so to speak. Damn right I am. By comparison, Damian's grin is huge. They look like someone told the Cheshire cat he can have all the wet food he wants and an extra treat after dinner. You wanna rent a space in this meat sack? You play by my rules, so you can try your luck with someone else. Got me? Fine, okay. If it brings you comfort, we will go that way. I'll let you stick around till you're able to bloom. You hear that? I'm letting you stay. I could evict you, whatever, but I'm not going to let it come before my own health. Alright? You're not hurting me. I'm not hurting you. That's how we're gonna play it. Very well. Clearly it has more to say, but doesn't. Damian can feel an inkling of a thought forming in its mind, but they can't decipher what it means. Probably just throwing a fit it can't run roughshod. Roughshod. Wow, we are getting a lot of terms today. Roughshod. To do what you want without giving any attention to other people or their wishes. Okay, acting without caring then. Okay, interesting. Or otherwise, having shoes with on a horse, having shoes with nails ahead to prevent slipping. I don't think that's it. Okay, so he can't run without a care, it means, and use them for nutrients or something. It's getting awkward referring to this parasite as just Damian's reflection. Bond or not, it's still a living thing with an identity of its own, and calling it the reflection sounds weird too. Damian can kind of glean they only perceive it as their mirror image because that's easiest for their brain to wrap around. Something like that anyways. Hey, Damian asks, do you have a name? I used to, over my eons in oblivion though. It has eroded from me. Oh, they looked away. Do you want a name? Do you want me to give you one? You don't have to say yes or make it your whole identity if you don't want it. Could just be a nickname or something. Just, yeah, it could be practical to not call it you like the thing that infected me. A name would be nice. Whatever makes you most comfortable. How about Slicey with an Y? You know, to be cool, Slicey. Wait, no, that's edgy. I'm supposed to be out of my edgy phase by junior high. It flows well, says Slicey. I like it. You sure? Yes. Alright, Slicey it is. Slicey smiles wider than it has during the entire conversation. Then I hope we will get along well, you and I. Damian can't help but feel like they cut a deal with a god in the gutter. As if on cue, the landline phone in the main room blares its distressing tones. They jolt and whip their head around to face the bathroom entrance. Shit, that's probably Carl or Margaret, they think. What do those fuckers want now? Damian looks back to give us Slicey a goodbye. All they see now is their own face. Fuck it, sharing a body with an alien parasite can wait. Right now they got more pressing matters on their hands. The alien parasite can wait, I have to work. They pick up the phone and do their best to sound like they haven't been up for half an hour already. Zhao speaking. Hey Damien, it's Margaret. Dude, it's 5 in the morning. I work seconds and third shifts. I know, but our morning housekeeper Isaac just called out and we don't have anyone else to fill his slot. Tell Isaac to go stuff it and get his ass in here. Come on, Madge, please, I'm exhausted. Look at my schedule. I'm supposed to be on second with overtime today. Damien's talking this slice thing awfully well. Damien is taking, okay, he's taking this slice thing awfully well, if they do say so themselves. They've gotten pretty decent at packing away trauma in their brain to sort through later. When I will process my trauma when I have time, okay? Not now. It reminds them of shoving their summer wardrobe into neat little boxes to get enough space for winter gear. Problem is, this kind of goes beyond trauma and into life-threatening events that anyone would panic over. Not really something they can stuff into the mental closet to deal with on a better day. And hey, maybe they're imagining slice up. At any point, they could wake up severely ill next to the motel's dumpster, covered in the snow 2 seconds away from death because they ate alien goo and it's liquefying their intestines in real time. That's also a possibility. Okay, we probably end up soon, we see after this scene. I have to say something though. The start was a little confusing, but now the game took their pace. I got really involved. You can notice it by the fact that I didn't add any comment on the game from the start of second chapter because I got really involved in the story. That's a pretty positive thing. I got really caught up by the plot. That was the hook, the story turn I was waiting from the start. I find it really interesting. That's a really good way to catch the player's attention. If they can get through the short introduction where they just introduce the characters. Also, by saying that I got caught up, means also the pacing of every dialogue is well done. Because, well, in the second chapter in particular, we get the dialogue with the other character, the discovery. Everything works in this chapter, at least on the immersion sort. Look, Damien, you know I never want you to do this, but really, we really need someone to fill in and clean up before. You know what, I can talk with Dad, okay? We can get somewhere or someone to take your other shift today. We just really need you on this. Oh, so Samuel can take another shift, but you need me for this one? I see what you're doing. Oh, yeah, sure. Oh my god, thank you so much. I talk to Dad right now, okay? Alright. Where's your backbone? Well, you got an alien goo. You don't need a backbone now. Margaret slams the phone down on her side. Someone kill me already. It whispers to Damien's mind again. Could never harm you. Safe with me. Don't worry, it's just a thought, I guess. Besides, I kinda wanna see what's so good about blooming. It will take a while to get used to having 2 voices in their head. If this were a horror movie, Damien thinks that they'd be the first one to die. Yeah, they would be the talking minority who thinks this is a cute rom-com cottage in the forest getaway. Actually, okay, hear me out. I don't think in a horror movie Damien would be the first one to die. because then it would spark some controversy about a film that makes the non-binary character die first. So when they put a non-binary character in a film, usually they don't die first, otherwise people get upset. Well, people get upset anyways. Still, maybe they get upset this way. If you were in a cute rom-com cottage in the forest getaway, they'd blissfully skip their way down the creaky stairs and into the cluttered basement without so much as a flashlight. And oops, there goes their head, chainsawed off by the slasher before Damians can make it down the last step. They're not final girl material, they are too stupid for that slot. Damian isn't even a girl, and that's just a piece in their cornflakes. But this ain't a nice spring break. There's no Splinterfield cabin in the heart of the woods. No serial killer that wasn't hugged enough as a kid. That's the reason why the serial killers are born, right? So now he skins people for fun. And this isn't a horror movie. This is a real life. And Damien has to clock in at 7 AM, running off 3 hours of sleep, and pretend they don't have to a vomit gwelling wrapped around their ribs. Ain't that fantastic? Morning, Sam. We see where the scene is going, and then we can think about stopping. Margaret. Can we talk a second? Sure, what's the matter? What's up with Damien? They've been acting kinda off for a few days now. There's some lag while checking the history though. Okay, so the blue one is Sam, the white is Margaret. It's weird that the game now switches from the visual novel part as a normal conversation game way. I mean, like, there's only dialogue now. There's no description anymore. Which wouldn't be a problem. I don't like this switch for a main reason. Because it makes it too easy to lose track on who is talking. Okay. This one was clearly to make the player know that the blue is Sam and the white is Margaret, but player can easily forget later by reading, and even if they don't forget, it's hard to link someone just to a color of the text. The game should stay on the visual novel narration type and write in the name of who is speaking every dialogue, or it's a little exotic choice in a visual novel, but place a name tag on the top of the window box. That's how a normal RPG Maker game does. I know it's not really visual novel-ish, but neither is having normal dialogue like those ones. What's up with Damien? They've been acting kinda off for a few days now. What do you mean? It's hard to explain. They keep spacing in and out and talking to themselves. It's been happening all week now. I was having a conversation with them on break yesterday, and they just stopped, right in the middle of their sentence. I thought Damien lost their train of thought, but it was like they were totally gone. Lights are on, but no one is home. That kind of thing. Everything was fine after a few seconds, but I don't know. It's not right. Well, they may have some mental illness, maybe? That's not something to be very sus about. I'm not really the person to go for things like this, Samuel. That sounds more like a personal issue than anything else. I mean, they haven't really made any threats to you or slipped up on their work, right? No, but... Look, I know you mean well, but in my perspective, this just sounds like gossip. Have you even talked to Damien about it first before coming to me? You'd get it if you saw them. I don't know what to tell you. I don't feel comfortable talking about Damian behind their back if they're just spacing out. Maybe they just have a lot in their mind right now. Damian's been working a lot. Someone has to pick Isaac's shifts, you know? Sure, fine. I get it. Well, it was still a perspective of another character. That's why maybe there wasn't dialogue. Ah, we completed them. Awesome. Right in time. Perfect. For version we have 8 chapters, 6 endings, 7 bonus scenes. What do you mean bonus scenes? And many more illustrations to unlock. We wishlist the game on Steam. Okay, I will share the link in chat in case anyone is interested in wishlisting the game. I personally I'm interested in the game in a way or another. I still don't get where it's going. I like the concept of sharing another character in the protagonist. Oh, hi Michael. It's a morning. Not really. I like the idea of sharing another character in the protagonist. I don't know how the game is where the game is going though. Maybe the Steam page will explain better what the game is about. I liked the narration of the second chapter on. Well, the first one was pretty short. The game feels also short if you can complete 2 chapters out of 7 in like 2 hours. Even less since I played very slowly. So you can play both first chapters in 1 hour. So the full game will last 4 hours maximum. Well, maximum I don't know, but which I would have expected a longer duration for a visual novel, but I know that making games alone or with a small team isn't that easy. So I think this game makes a good choice on settling on a very medium duration. I still don't understand where the game is trying to go though. I suppose now with the tapeworm or the virus inside us, the protagonist might start to kill someone. Maybe we can understand something from the game page at this point. Because I'm interested in the game. The game sounds interesting. Just I don't know how the game will continue on. Because it feels like we only got the introduction. The first 2 chapters are the introduction. The story will start from the 3rd one. So I can't really say how much I'm interested in the game since the first chapter was a little okay. The second one only took up the piece. Also, I'm not really a fan of the gore descriptions. Or not, there weren't a lot of gore descriptions, more like there were some instances of bad moments. Not really the graphics, at least. They were just for context. Still, no, they didn't last long, actually. They were pretty short. I don't think that might be a problem, actually. As long as they don't have any drawing of that, it's fine. At the end, it's a very smart use of RPG Maker. Well, yes, you can make a visual novel out of every engine. Almost every engine. And it's an interesting story because, well, it's not completely original because there's a lot of other stories where a protagonist gets possessed by an alien form or whatever, and they gain powers, which we still don't know. But here the context is a little different though. It's more dark, you can say. It's on the perspective of a person that is pretty down on life, very, very down on life, with some sort of anger inside. So maybe that could lead to some violence on their part. I don't know. So that's a different take on the alien taking possession of your body kind of story. I don't know what else to add. With a novel in RPG Maker 95. You can show images in RPG Maker 95. Also, here's your gacha, Michael. Primo box gacha. And you got Revolver. Ooh, that one. Insta Switch, awesome. Okay. Before ending, we check up the Steam page because I'm still a little confused on. Well, not really confused, but I'm curious on how the game will catch the player attention. That's also a thing. While working at a dead-end job and dreaming of what could have been, Damian Zhao discovers a flesh-eating parasite who promises to help them finally live free. They can become the monster of your own making. Who needs a moral compass when you have a god in the gutter? Okay, that's an interesting premise. Maybe the first line doesn't really catch that much attention. I don't know. This is the key text that people will read, so it should be a little more short, with less filler dialogue, or not filler, less information that is not really needed. It will be released on Valentine's Day. That's interesting. Surely out of theme. When life becomes a monotonous cycle, it's not hard to grasp how someone could be pushed to the brink of violence, all in the name of feeling free. It becomes even more understandable if that person never began to live before being shoved out of their nest, with no gentle way out. The only chance to start anew is to snap chains and splatter organs. Yeah. It's going violent. But could actually be interesting. If that's the case, though, I feel like there's something missing, though, in the entire story premise. I don't know how to express it. I feel like before I said I was happy that it starts right on the action, on the story twist. But if the story wants to go on the direction of the protagonist goes mad with power and kills everyone, could be interesting, but we didn't have enough premises, I suppose. Not enough presentation beforehand, how to express. We didn't have enough introduction or deep knowledge of the other characters, how to say. For example, now we could go and treat badly Mr. Carl because they forced us to clean a bloody mess. But feels like we don't know Carl enough. Let me make an example. Steins Gate. Steins Gate, visual novel or anime, mainly visual novel because, well, it's the same genre, starts with like 4 10-hour long introduction when nothing relevant happens. well, something relevant happens. And that was useful, very useful, because in the second half of the story, all that happened in the first half of the game, which was very long, is key, is vital. It's very important to understand the concept, the consequences, and the motivations, or the characters that are the protagonists in what happens in the second part of Steins Gate. Without the first part, if the game skipped straight to the second half, we would have the action straight away, but we didn't know much about the world and the characters, mainly the characters. And here the game tried to make us know the other characters, but I'm worried that if we go straight to killing, we would miss something. I don't think though, maybe it's gradual. Also, worth to mention that Steins Gate, even if it had a very long introduction, it wasn't boring. Here though, I feel like only the protagonist has the defined character. All the others I didn't really grasp their character, because they didn't have enough screen time maybe, or it wasn't relevant enough. But apart from it, the game is interesting. Okay. I think that's everything I have to say for now. Or everything that comes to mind, actually. And we can end the stream. So, we continue tomorrow with Grandia. Why Saturday we go with Zelda, and Sunday the Katawa. Hoping we won't get banned again. Okay then, thanks a lot for coming by. Let me link again the game Steam page. And that's everything for today. Thanks for coming. Please stay for the raid. And we see ya whatever happens.